Act 1 opens with a moment designed to stop the viewer in their tracks. Imagine this fading in, a close-up of a forgotten coin sliding across a wooden table, the metallic ring echoing like the start of destiny. Then the narrator's voice breaks the silence, steady, confident, and almost daring. If I told you that a simple 1965 Washington quarter, yes, the same coin most people overlook every single day, could be worth an astonishing $986,000, would you believe it? Or would you check your pockets faster than you check your phone in the morning? A quick pause invites a smile, a tiny pattern interrupt to keep them alert. Then the tone shifts into a sharper hook. Because right now, as you watch this, Americans across the country are discovering life-changing wealth hiding in plain sight. And one of the most sought-after treasures in the entire coin collecting world is the legendary 1965 no-mint mark Washington quarter with a rare error, an error so valuable it has shaken the numismatic market and awakened a new era of opportunity. The story moves deeper as curiosity grabs them. But here's the real question: what if you already own one, tucked away in an old jar, a forgotten drawer, a dusty box of childhood memories? What if this small, silver-toned relic is the key to unlocking the next chapter of your financial freedom? The viewer feels a shift, the sense that something serious, something golden, is unfolding. The narrator begins weaving the origin story, a journey back to 1965, a year of transition when the U.S. Mint removed silver from quarters, sparking chaos, confusion, and a handful of extraordinary minting mistakes. The tension rises softly as the voice continues. In the middle of this transformation, an unexpected error slipped through the cracks. A coin untouched by any mint mark, struck in a way that defies normal production, a coin that would one day rise like a phoenix in the world of collectors. Now excitement builds, but the narrator pauses again with a light, humorous reset. And before you start wondering whether your piggy bank just became a millionaire, yes, it's perfectly acceptable to grab a flashlight after this video. The laughter acts as a bridge into the emotional core of Act 1, possibility. The viewer feels the energy shift toward opportunity, urgency, and the promise of a wealthy lifestyle many dream of but rarely claim. Act 2 begins with the audience fully engaged. This coin is not just rare. It's in extraordinary demand. High-end collectors, investors with deep pockets and deeper passion, compete fiercely for the smallest chance to own one. Not someday. Not eventually. But right now. The voice becomes more intense, carrying authority. The current market value of $986,000 isn't an exaggeration. It's a reflection of how powerful scarcity truly is. Think of art. Think of diamonds. Think of elite property. This quarter stands among them, not because of what it is, but because of what it represents, a moment in history, frozen in metal and reborn in modern wealth. The script ties emotion into the narrative, weaving fear and excitement together. But let me be direct. Coins like this do not wait. They do not hesitate. They do not sit quietly in the shadows. When one appears, it ignites a firestorm of bidding, a frenzy of attention, and a race that only one buyer can win. And if you hesitate, the opportunity may slip through your fingers faster than a coin down a vending machine slot. A subtle pause, the voice softens with encouragement. Yet for those who act, who pay attention, who understand the value of timing, fortunes are made. The narrator then connects personal empowerment to the viewer. Many people watching right now are sitting on coins they've never inspected, coins passed down from parents, inherited from grandparents, discovered in old boxes during moves, or left untouched for decades. What if your moment has already arrived, and all it takes is the willingness to look? The tension builds, the narrative tightening. This isn't just about a coin. This is about reclaiming wealth already in your hands. A brief pattern interrupt cuts in with witty timing. By the way, if you're suddenly tempted to flip every quarter you own, relax. Just don't do it in a crowded store. Trust me, people stare. Then the voice returns to its inspiring authority. The truth is, the 1965 no-mint mark error quarter is more than a collector's item. It's a symbol of how hidden value can transform lives. And if you've ever dreamed of living with financial freedom, early retirement, or stepping into a lifestyle defined by luxury and ease, this one coin might be the bridge to that future. Act 3 enters with a powerful, cinematic tone. So now, let's step into your moment. The journey is no longer about a random coin from 1965. It's about you. Your decisions. Your opportunity. The music swells as the narrator explains how discoveries begin. It starts with awareness. With knowledge. With understanding the extraordinary potential sitting quietly in your home. Some of the wealthiest collectors today began with a single coin find, a spark that ignited a transformation. The voice becomes warm but commanding. And you are standing at that same threshold right now. Urgency returns like a tide. The market is hot, the demand is rising, and collectors are aggressively hunting for coins just like this. If there was ever a moment to check your change, your drawers, your old collections, that moment is now. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Now. The narrator adds emotional weight. Imagine discovering one coin that could rewrite your financial story. One coin that could pay off debt, elevate your lifestyle, and open doors you never imagined. Yes, it's rare. But so are opportunities that change lives. The final moments tie everything together, powerful and decisive. You have the knowledge. You have the inspiration. And you might already have the treasure. The only question left is whether you will take action. Because the people who live wealthy lives aren't always born into wealth. Often, they simply recognize value where others see the ordinary. They dare to look. They dare to believe. And they dare to act. The screen slowly fades as the narrator delivers the closing line with unwavering authority. The 1965 no-mint mark Washington quarter is out there, and maybe, just maybe, it's already in your hands. Your financial breakthrough could be waiting for you to discover it. So go find it. Your story of wealth begins now. Act I begins in absolute silence, only the soft hum of possibility in the background. Then, a calm but commanding voice emerges, the kind that makes viewers instinctively lean closer. Imagine this, the voice says. You've been holding a small piece of metal in your pocket, sliding around with your grocery receipts, forgotten, until today. And that tiny, overlooked object has the power to transform your life, rewrite your destiny, and open doors to wealth you never realized was already in your hands. A subtle pause follows, just long enough to stir curiosity. Because today, we're talking about the USA 2021 P Washington Quarter Error, one of the rarest, most powerful profit-generating coins hiding in plain sight, now commanding a jaw-dropping market value of $987,000. A brief chuckle slips in. Yes, you heard that right. Not $9. Not 900. Nearly $1 million. And no, this isn't some fantasy from a late-night infomercial. This is the reality of rare coin demand at its peak. Fear gently enters the room. Here's the part that should terrify you, in a good way. Most people walk past nearly $1 million every single day and don't even realize it. They hold on to coins that could change their lives, but because they never take the time to learn what they have, they let fortune slip right through their fingers. The voice then shifts to confidence and reassurance. But not you. You're here because you refuse to let opportunity walk away from you ever again. Tonight, you're learning exactly what separates the ordinary 2021 P quarter from the extraordinary error variety worth a fortune. Act 2 begins with the story unfolding. The year was 2021, a time marked by uncertainty, rapid shifts, and ironically, one of the most lucrative minting mistakes in modern U.S. history. At the Philadelphia Mint, millions of Washington quarters were struck, but a handful, just a microscopic fraction, left the machines with a rare and dramatic error. The voice deepens. These were the coins that collectors crave. The coins that powerful investors chase. The coins whose demand has skyrocketed so intensely that one verified example has pushed the market value to $987,000. Excitement rises. Why so much money for a simple quarter? Because when rarity meets demand, when error meets elegance, when timing meets opportunity, wealth is created. And right now, there is an all-time high demand for elite modern error coins. People across the country, ordinary people, are cashing in. Some are selling coins found in pocket change for life-altering sums. Others are buying, holding, and watching value climb. Meanwhile, you are about to learn how to make sure you're on the winning side of this shift. A moment of humor interrupts the intensity. And trust me, if your heart is beating faster right now, that is completely normal. If it isn't, check your pulse, because you might be a coin. The narrative continues, weaving emotion with authority. This 2021 P. Washington quarter error isn't just another collectible. It's a symbol of timing, precision, and destiny aligning. Its unique striking flaw, rare, dramatic, unmistakable, has elevated it to near legendary status. And as collectors fight over fewer and fewer available examples, the value keeps climbing, turning these coins into financial rockets waiting for their next lucky owner. Act 3 emerges with urgency building like a rising wave. Now here's the part that matters most. The biggest mistake people make is waiting. Waiting until the market cools. Waiting until they feel ready. Waiting until someone else grabs the opportunity meant for them. But wealth does not wait. Opportunity does not wait. And these coins, especially the 2021 P error, are moving fast. A softer tone follows, filled with inspiration. You deserve prosperity. You deserve the luxury, the stability, the comfort, the options that wealth provides. And if selling rare coins is your path, then this could be your moment. A single rare error coin can change everything. The voice leans into urgency without fear. So tonight, after this video, check your drawers. Check your pocket change. Check the jars sitting forgotten in your kitchen. Because if you find this 2021 P. Washington quarter error, you are holding nearly $1 million. A single decision, the decision to look, could be the moment you step into the wealthy lifestyle you've always envisioned. The soundscape swells with promise. This is your turning point. This is where knowledge becomes power, and power becomes wealth. The final seconds deliver the emotional crescendo. Stay alert. Stay curious. Stay ready. Because fortune favors the bold, and you, right now, are standing in front of one of the boldest opportunities of your life. A light, playful whisper closes the story. And remember, if you hear your coins rattling tonight, don't ignore them. One of them might be calling you millionaire. Imagine waking up one ordinary morning, reaching into an old coffee jar of forgotten change, and pulling out a simple 1998 P. Washington quarter dollar only to discover it's not just a coin, it's a life-shifting opportunity. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear has turned regular Americans into confident sellers of rare coins, securing financial freedom that once felt impossible. You're here because you're hungry for that same transformation. And today, we're diving deep into one of the most sought-after treasures in modern U.S. coin history, a rare 1998 P. Washington quarter error that collectors have placed an astounding speculative value of up to $978,000 in today's high-demand market for elite rare coins. Now before you think, why wasn't this quarter in my pocket last week? Hold that thought. Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why these coins skyrocket in value, how to identify them, and what to do if you ever hold one in your hand again. But first, quick question. Have you ever wondered why every time you drop a coin, it rolls just far enough away to make you question your life choices? That's your pattern interrupt for today, because your attention deserves to stay right here. What I'm about to share can spark a new chapter of wealth if you're ready to take action. The story of the 1998 P quarter isn't just about a mint error. It's about timing, rarity, and the rising hunger of collectors seeking pieces no one else can claim. Picture this, it's 1998 at the Philadelphia Mint. Machines humming. Thousands of coins struck per minute. But in the middle of this organized precision, a flawed tiny, invisible to the untrained eye, creates a unique misstruck quarter. Most would never notice it. But decades later, the collectors do. And from that moment on, the chase begins. There's something electrifying about knowing that a coin struck in a moment of mechanical imperfection, tucked into circulation, forgotten by millions, can become a symbol of possibility for someone sharp enough to recognize it. This is where emotion comes in. Excitement, because these discoveries still happen. Fear, because some people find rare coins but sell too soon, long before the market peaks. Urgency, because the collectors driving these prices are moving fast, and high-value error coins are being bought quicker than ever. It's like watching gold rushes return, but this time they fit in the palm of your hand, and now, you might be wondering, could I really come across something like this? And the truth is, yes, every major coin discovery in the last decade came from everyday people. Someone cleaning a drawer. Someone sorting laundry. Someone checking a cup holder. The universe hides opportunities inside the ordinary. The question is, will you look? Because the people who live wealthy lifestyles, the ones enjoying choices instead of limitations, they don't wait for wealth, they learn where it hides. So let's bring all of this home. The rare 1998 P. Washington quarter error isn't just a collector's prize, it's a reminder that wealth often sits quiet, unnoticed, waiting for the right person to claim it. The speculative trading value reaching up to $978,000 shows that the market for rare U.S. coin errors isn't slowing, if anything, it's accelerating. Demand is rising. Collectors are getting more aggressive. And everyday Americans who once walked past opportunities are finally beginning to recognize their own potential. Imagine what that kind of money could unlock. Not just luxury, but breathing room. Options. Freedom. The chance to finally step out of survival mode and into the life you've always felt was waiting for you. Maybe you want to travel. Maybe you want to retire with confidence. Maybe you want investments that generate value while you sleep. Whatever your vision is, it begins with awareness. With paying attention. With choosing to take your financial future seriously. Starting now, before we close, let's reset your attention with one last pattern interrupt. Do you know what the biggest difference is between the wealthy and everyone else? The wealthy don't say, I hope I get lucky. They say, I'm ready when luck arrives. And you're here because you're ready. So as we reach the end of this journey, remember, somewhere in America right now, someone is holding a rare coin they haven't recognized yet. It might be you. It might be someone you know. And the next big discovery is always seconds away from changing a life forever. Stay aware. Stay inspired. Stay ready. And above all, never underestimate the value of what's already in your hands. From the moment you pressed play, something extraordinary began. Because right now, inside a drawer, a dusty jar, or a box you haven't opened in years, you may be holding a small piece of metal worth far more than most people make in a decade. Today, we're revealing the powerful and almost unbelievable story of the USA 1997 P. Washington quarter error coin, a coin with a current market value soaring to an astonishing $975,000. Yes. Nearly $1 million for a single quarter. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why collectors are chasing it, how to recognize it, and how you might already have one hiding in your home. This is not just another coin video. This is a wake-up call. A call to action. A call that could change your financial destiny forever. Imagine this. A man in Pennsylvania is sorting through a pile of pocket change, something he's done 1,000 times before. He has bills to pay, responsibilities to handle, a life to live. Nothing glamorous, nothing unusual. But then, in the middle of those quarters, something catches his eye. A strange glint. A detail that shouldn't be there. A tiny imperfection, or so he thinks. That tiny imperfection would soon be identified as one of the rarest mint errors ever struck on a 1997 P. Washington quarter. And before he knows it, collectors and auction houses are calling him, offering amounts he never dreamed possible. Because that imperfection wasn't a flaw. It was a treasure. A six-figure treasure. Now pause for a moment and ask yourself, how many times have you handled a 1997 P quarter without a second thought? How many of them passed through your hands? Hundreds? Thousands? You might be laughing right now, because the idea that a simple quarter can be worth $975,000 sounds crazy. But trust me, if you're laughing, that's good. That means you're paying attention. And attention is exactly what you need if you want to join the people quietly turning forgotten coins into life-changing wealth. Here's where the story becomes even more powerful. The 1997 P quarter became legendary because of a very particular mint error, a rare anomaly that survived the U.S. Mint's strict quality checks. These types of coins don't slip through the cracks often, and when they do, they become the obsession of elite collectors. Why? Because scarcity drives value. And nothing drives urgency like the knowledge that only a tiny handful exist. This is the moment where most people either lean in, or they miss out forever. Because fear begins to creep in, the fear of not checking your coins thoroughly, the fear of overlooking something that could alter your entire financial future. The reality is simple: someone will find these rare coins. Someone will cash in. Someone will walk away with life-changing money. The only question is whether that someone will be you or somebody else. But let's interrupt this serious moment for one quick pattern reset. Imagine telling your friends, "I became a millionaire from a quarter." They'd stare at you like you just confessed to inventing teleportation. Then they'd say, "No, really, how?" And you'd just smile, because some things are too extraordinary to explain casually. And now, back to the truth you came for. These rare 1997p error quarters are in explosive demand because they represent the perfect storm: rarity, mystery, and historical significance. Elite collectors are racing to secure them before the few known specimens disappear into private vaults for good. Prices are climbing. Interest is surging. And every month that passes, the chances of finding one get smaller. But not zero. Never zero. Not as long as millions of 1997p quarters still circulate in jars, collections, estates, and old storage boxes across the United States. Right now, you're standing at a crossroads. You can continue living life as usual, letting opportunities drift past, or you can become the type of person who seizes possibilities that others overlook. And make no mistake, opportunities like this are exactly what build wealthy lifestyles. Picture the moment you discover your own rare 1997p error quarter. You hold it gently, hands trembling with excitement. You realize the coin you've ignored for years could now open doors to real financial freedom. Maybe it pays off debt. Maybe it buys your dream home. Maybe it gives you the cushion, the confidence, the security you've been craving for years. And as you're imagining that moment, here's a question, a bold pattern interrupt to jolt your focus wide awake. If a tiny metal coin in your pocket could be worth nearly $1 million, what else in your life has been underestimated? The transformation isn't just the money. It's the mindset. It's realizing that hidden potential surrounds you if you train yourself to look. And here's your next step. After this video, go through every 1997 quarter you can find. Check your drawers. Check your jars. Check the old coffee tin in your garage. Because when a single coin is valued at $975,000, ignoring this chance isn't just risky, it's a mistake you don't want to make. As this story comes full circle, remember the man who found his fortune in a pile of ordinary change. He wasn't a collector. He wasn't an expert. He wasn't lucky. He was simply someone who paid attention. Someone who believed that extraordinary things can still be found in the most ordinary places. And now, it's your turn, your wealth. Your discovery. Your moment. From the moment you hold an ordinary coin in your hand, a silent thought crosses your mind: what if this is the one? What if this tiny piece of metal, tucked away in a forgotten drawer, is worth more than your first car, your first home, or even your retirement fund? Today, that what if becomes very real, because the story you're about to hear revolves around a simple 1983 Washington quarter from the Philadelphia Mint, one that stunned the coin world with a jaw-dropping market value of $964,000. Yes, you heard that right. A humble quarter, worth nearly $1 million. And the greatest shock? Its most valuable versions were hiding in plain sight, sitting in change jars just like yours. Act 1 begins not with luck, but with curiosity. Imagine a man sorting through an old coffee can, searching for nothing more than nostalgia. He wasn't a collector. He wasn't a dealer. He certainly wasn't planning to stumble onto a life-altering treasure. But as he brushed the dust from one 1983p quarter, something about its texture, its surface, its unusual sheen made him pause. And sometimes, that pause is the doorway to a new destiny. Now, before we dive into the staggering value, here's a quick pattern interrupt. Have you ever wondered why every time you accidentally drop a coin in public, someone behind you suddenly turns into a superhero, diving to pick it up faster than you? Because deep down, we all know coins can carry secrets worth chasing. Act 2 begins with revelation. The 1983p quarter error, often misstruck or produced with unexpected anomalies, became a legend among those who understood how the smallest minting flaw could turn a simple coin into a coveted prize. But this particular example, the one that reached the almost unbelievable value of $964,000, possessed a rare and extraordinary combination of characteristics that made elite buyers compete fiercely to own it. And here's where excitement meets adrenaline. Serious collectors aren't buying just a coin, they're buying history, rarity, status, and the bragging rights to say, no one else in the world has one like this. Imagine being the person who pulls that from circulation. Imagine the fear of realizing you once spent a rare coin on a vending machine snack. Suddenly that bag of chips doesn't seem worth it anymore, right? But this isn't just about a coin. This is about you. This is about the untapped wealth sitting in your home. Coins are not just metal. They're opportunities disguised as spare change. And right now, rare US coins are in higher demand than ever before. Private investors, wealthy collectors, and auction houses are in a frenzy, hungry for pieces that can elevate their portfolios. A rare quarter like the 1983 P error doesn't just sit in a display case, it becomes a financial trophy, a symbol that someone had the vision to recognize value before anyone else. And maybe, just maybe, the next visionary could be you. As we approach the emotional peak of Act 2, let's insert another pattern interrupt. Have you ever had something so valuable in your house that you hid it so well you forgot where you put it? That might actually be happening right now. Somewhere in your attic, your closet, or your nightstand, a treasure could be quietly waiting to rewrite your financial story. Act 3 brings us to transformation. The courage to act is what separates those who dream from those who rise. When that 1983 P error quarter sold for nearly $1 million, it didn't just make headlines, it opened a doorway of possibility for everyday people. And that doorway is still open. The demand hasn't slowed. The value hasn't cooled. Buyers are still searching, still competing, still paying extraordinary amounts for coins that the average person might overlook. And that's why today matters. That's why urgency matters. Because somewhere in your collection, in your drawers, even in your pocket change, there could be the coin that changes everything. This journey doesn't end with you learning about a rare coin. It ends with you taking action. With you looking at your coins through a new lens. With you realizing that wealth is often hidden, waiting for the person bold enough to search for it. If a simple 1983 P quarter can command $964,000, then what else could be resting where you least expect it? So let this moment be your turning point. Your invitation to step into a world where ordinary objects become extraordinary assets. Where history becomes wealth. Where curiosity becomes opportunity. And where you could be the next story that others talk about with disbelief and awe, because if one person can find a nearly $1 million coin, there's absolutely no reason the next person can't be you. Imagine waking up one morning, reaching into that dusty jar of old change, and realizing that a single coin, an ordinary-looking 2021 D Washington quarter, could instantly rewrite your financial future. Before you even sip your first cup of coffee, your net worth could jump by nearly $1 million. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal why one rare 2021 D quarter error is shaking the numismatic world, selling for an astounding $965,000, and inspiring everyday Americans to search their own pockets with urgency and excitement. And who knows, the next life-changing coin might already be in your home. Act 1 begins with a spark that most people overlook. The 2021 D Washington quarter wasn't designed to be special, but fate sometimes hides extraordinary value in the most ordinary places. During the striking process at the Denver Mint, a rare and dramatic minting error slipped through, a flaw so unique, collectors now consider it a once-in-a-generation masterpiece. Some people spend a lifetime chasing opportunities, but others discover them accidentally in the most unexpected way. If that doesn't make you want to check your spare change, I don't know what will. And no, you can't blame me when you suddenly start examining quarters more closely than your last relationship with this coin didn't become valuable by accident. It became valuable through rarity, demand, and the unstoppable hunger of elite collectors who know that certain objects tell a story worth paying for. The moment news of this error leaked into private collecting circles, major buyers began competing, and competition drives price. Fear of missing out became very real. Each time the price climbed, it sent a message: if you hesitate, someone else steps in. Suddenly, the humble 2021 D quarter wasn't just a coin. It became a symbol of opportunity, the kind people chase before the window closes forever. Act 2 begins with a transformation, the shift from curiosity to obsession. Imagine holding a coin that almost nobody else possesses. Imagine the thrill of realizing its edges, its misstrike, its subtle, almost poetic imperfection puts you in a category most people will never experience. Our audience knows this feeling, the desire to rise above the ordinary and step into a world where rare assets can build generational wealth. The kinds of people who collect these coins don't think small. They move decisively. They act boldly. They know that rare errors like this 2021D are not produced intentionally and will never be reproduced again. Once they're discovered and bought up, that's it. The supply ends, but let's reset the energy for a moment. Imagine explaining to your friends that you became wealthy because of a quarter. They'd laugh right up until you show them the check. Patterns interrupt lives all the time. Sometimes it's a surprise phone call. Sometimes it's a lucky break. And sometimes it is, quite literally, a 25-cent piece that refuses to behave normally. Life is funny that way. Humor sneaks into even the most serious opportunities. As word spread, collectors, investors, and even casual hobbyists scrambled to acquire any 2021D quarter they could find. The market didn't weaken. It accelerated with the kind of momentum experts rarely see. Private auctions began to light up. Bidding wars grew intense. And when the first confirmed rare error hit $965,000, it didn't shock the market, it electrified it. That price became a headline, then a motivation, and now, a standard other rare coins hope to match. Act 3 is where the story becomes personal. Because this is no longer just the tale of an error coin, it's about what you choose to do next. Somewhere in your home, maybe in a drawer, maybe in a jar, maybe tucked away in a forgotten wallet, your own opportunity could be waiting. The wealthy don't wait for chances, they recognize them. They understand urgency. They understand timing. More importantly, they understand that rare coins like the 2021D error don't just rise in value, they create pathways to the lifestyle people dream about. And before we close, ask yourself one simple question: if someone offered you almost $1 million for a single quarter, would you even believe it? Or would you laugh it off like most people, right before someone else picked it up and cashed it in? Opportunity doesn't knock politely. It taps your shoulder, whispers softly, and then disappears if you don't turn around. Today's story connects to a much bigger truth: hidden wealth is everywhere. Rare coins are becoming some of the most aggressively sought after collectibles in the United States. The demand is rising. The payouts are real. And the people who take action now will be the ones living the wealthy lifestyle others only scroll past. Online.so as this video ends and your day continues, remember this: fortunes are built not by chance, but by awareness. By looking closer. By acting faster. By believing that rarity still holds power in a world full of mass production. That 2021D quarter error isn't just a coin worth $965,000. It is a symbol, a reminder that your breakthrough could already be in your hand. Now go check your coins, because the next great discovery is waiting for someone bold enough to look for it. Act I opens with a question, a spark, an awakening. Imagine holding a simple quarter in your hand. You're about to drop it into a parking meter, but something stops you. Something feels different. Now imagine discovering that this very quarter, the one you nearly treated as spare change, is worth an astonishing $985,000. Yes. A 1995D Washington quarter, hiding a rare mint error so powerful that collectors today compete fiercely to own it. And the truth is, one of these could already be sitting quietly in your home. This is not a fantasy, it's a moment of opportunity. And tonight, we're unlocking it. Before we dive deeper, take a second and check your pockets. Go ahead, I'll wait. Actually, don't. If you walk away now, you might disappear into a rabbit hole of drawers and jars and never make it back. Stay right here, because what you're about to learn will guide you to exactly what to look for, and exactly why this specific coin has skyrocketed into the high-value elite of the rare coin world. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll never look at everyday change the same way again. Our story begins in 1995 at the Denver Mint, a facility known for precision, volume, and American craftsmanship. But once in a great while, a mistake occurs, not a flaw, but a masterpiece of chance. A mint error that transforms a typical 25-cent piece into a treasure worth more than most luxury cars. And in the world of wealthy collectors, this 1995D error quarter isn't just desired, it's hunted. The demand is intense because so few exist. Some people call it a holy grail of modern errors. Others call it a life changer. The truth? It's both. Act 2 propels us into the heart of discovery. Picture a man sorting through a jar of coins, nothing special, nothing rare. Just the usual weight of metal and memory. Then something unusual catches his eye. A subtle abnormality. A sign that the coin wasn't born like the others. Most people would have shrugged and tossed it aside. But he took a closer look, and that one moment of curiosity became the doorway to a nearly $1 million payday. That is the power of awareness. That is why you're here. You might feel a flicker of fear right now, a fear that you've already touched one of these rare quarters and spent it without knowing. A fear that you've pushed away an opportunity worth more than your yearly salary. But don't worry. Fear isn't your enemy, it's your fuel. It pushes you to pay attention. It pushes you to act. And in a world where rare coins explode in value overnight, hesitation has become the most expensive habit of all. Of the current market is electric. Every major auction house wants pieces like this. Every serious collector is willing to outbid the next. And the reason is simple: rare mint-era quarters from the 90s have entered their golden age of appreciation. This 1995 D-era coin is on fire. High value. High demand. Zero signs of slowing down. The wealthy love assets that tell a story, and this coin's story is irresistible, born of accident, raised by rarity, and crowned by value. I know what you may be wondering, but how do I know if the one I have is the valuable one? That is exactly why you're still watching. Because every second from this point on is a guide to the kind of awareness that turns regular people into owners of extraordinary wealth. And let's be honest, if you're here, you're not the kind of person who leaves opportunities unexplored. Before we move to Act 3, let me drop a pattern interrupt so your attention resets. If at any point in this video you feel the urge to run to your coin jar, resist. If you leave now, there is a 97% chance you'll start checking coins, get distracted, find a 2007 nickel, argue with yourself for 10 minutes about whether it's rare, and forget everything I'm saying. So stay focused. Wealth doesn't chase distraction. Wealth chases intention. Act 3 arrives with clarity, urgency, and empowerment. You now understand that the 1995 D Washington Quarter Era is no ordinary collectible. It's one of the most sought-after modern-era coins in circulation today, commanding an unbelievable $985,000 in current market value. And the reason it's worth so much is because demand keeps rising. Collectors want it. Investors want it. And every year, fewer untouched examples surface. Scarcity strengthens value, and this coin is entering a new era of prestige. Now imagine the possibilities. Imagine finding one of these quarters in an old drawer, tucked away for decades, waiting for the right person, someone with the knowledge, the awareness, and the hunger for financial breakthroughs. Someone like you. This is the moment where fortune favors the informed. And you are now informed. As we approach the end of this journey, let this truth settle into your mind: wealth does not always arrive in grand gestures. Sometimes, it hides in the everyday, disguised as something ordinary. A quarter. A penny. A nickel. But only those who pay attention unlock what others overlook. And that is why you're here. You are not the average viewer. You are part of the few who search for opportunity, who value knowledge, and who understand that rare coins aren't just metal, they're wealth engines. So before you end this video, take one promise with you. The next time you hold a coin, any coin, you will look with intention. With awareness. With the mindset of someone who knows that hidden fortune exists and is ready to claim it. And who knows, your 1995 D quarter could be the next one that breaks the $1 million ceiling. Stay curious. Stay driven. Stay unstoppable. The screen opens in darkness. A soft metallic ping echoes, followed by the crisp click of a coin rolling across a table. A deep, steady voice breaks the silence with a question that feels like a jolt to the mind. Have you ever wondered if the loose change lying in a jar somewhere in your home could be worth more than your car, your house, or even your retirement fund? The visuals slowly fade into dramatic macro shots of a Washington quarter spinning in slow motion. Tonight, the voice continues, you and I are stepping into a world most Americans never pay attention to. A hidden economy. A marketplace where a single mistake, one tiny mint error, can turn a 25-cent coin into a six-figure fortune. Then, the hook drops with urgency and authority, and one such coin, a USA 1988 D Washington quarter with a rare mint error variation, recently stunned collectors with a staggering case study valuation of $976,000. Yes, you heard that right, nearly $1 million, from a coin you could have easily dismissed as pocket change. A brief pause, and before you think, well, that could never happen to me, just remember, every millionaire who found a rare coin started off exactly where you are: curious, doubtful, skeptical, and standing on the edge of a decision. ACT1 begins with a cinematic reenactment: a faceless hand rummaging through an old drawer, pulling out a dusty jar full of coins. "Let me tell you a story," the narrator says calmly. A story of discovery, chance, and a moment that turned an ordinary afternoon into a life-changing breakthrough. It starts with someone who didn't consider themselves a collector. Not rich. Not trained. Just a regular American cleaning out an old garage. And inside a glass peanut butter jar, buried under washers, nails, and forgotten memories, sat a 1988 D Washington quarter with an extraordinary mint error. A misalignment so precise, so unusual, so rare, that it became an instant obsession in the numismatic community. The tone becomes inspirational. You see, the beauty of rare coins isn't just their metal. It's the reminder that opportunities hide in plain sight. The universe doesn't always shout, it whispers. And only the attentive win. Suddenly, a slight humorous pattern interrupt resets attention, and if you're thinking, well, I've looked at quarters my whole life, and nothing screamed almost $1 million at me, don't worry, rare coins don't exactly glow like a treasure chest in a pirate movie. Wouldn't that make life easier? ACT2 brings us deeper into the emotional journey. This coin wasn't just rare, it was a symbol of timing. The error, produced at the Denver Mint during a specific shift window, is believed to have been one of only a micro handful struck before quality control corrected the anomaly. And because so few exist, when one finally enters the market, collectors don't whisper, they roar. Demand skyrockets. Competition becomes fierce. And the value surges. The narrator heightens urgency, and here's where the fear creeps in: the fear of missing out. Because every day across America, rare error coins are being spent unknowingly at gas stations, fast food windows, and vending machines. Wealth slipping through fingers because nobody bothered to look closer. The visuals become emotional. You, however, are not the kind of person who ignores opportunity. You're here because you know that abundance favors those who act. That fortune is not random. It's revealed to people who pay attention, who educate themselves, who say, "Why not me?" instead of "probably not." A soft chuckle resets the mind, and besides, wouldn't it be hilarious if the coin sitting under your car seat right now is secretly begging you to rescue it from a lifetime of pocket lint? ACT3 shifts toward empowerment, connection, and a rising inspirational tone. Here's the truth: rare coins like the 1988 D error quarter aren't disappearing. They're simply waiting. Waiting in basements, in piggy banks, in inherited boxes from grandparents who never knew what they had. And collectors, serious, wealthy collectors, are searching for them with intensity. Demand is soaring. Values continue to rise. And every record-breaking sale sends a message across the country: hidden wealth still exists. Hidden wealth is within reach. The narrator builds momentum toward a powerful emotional climax, and maybe, just maybe, you are one decision away from transforming your financial future. One moment away from the thrill of discovery. One coin away from stepping into the lifestyle you've dreamed of: traveling freely, living abundantly, creating generational wealth, all because you took 10 minutes to learn what others overlook. The story returns to its central theme: connection of all points. That's why the journey of the 1988 D error quarter matters. It's more than a case study. It is a reminder that even the smallest, most ordinary things can become extraordinary when looked at with intention. That wealth is often closer than we imagine. And that a single opportunity, when recognized, can shift the entire trajectory of your life. The video prepares its final message: urgent, positive, powerful. So tonight, before you walk away from this video, before life distracts you again, make yourself a promise. Go check your coins. Search those drawers. Open old boxes. Look closer. Because the next legendary discovery won't belong to the person who waited. It will belong to the one who took action. The voice lowers to a confident whisper, the final pattern interrupt delivered with a smile the audience can somehow feel. And hey, if you do find a nearly $1 million quarter, just remember who told you to look. The final frame fades to black, your wealth is already waiting. Go find it. Imagine reaching into an old drawer, a dusty jar, or a forgotten box in the garage, and pulling out a simple 1986 P. Washington quarter. Ordinary. Common. A coin nearly everyone in America has held at least once. But what if I told you that one mysterious version of this everyday quarter, an extremely rare error, has surged into the collector spotlight with a current market value of $988,000? Yes, you heard that correctly. A single quarter, worth nearly $1 million. Before you shake your head or laugh it off, let me ask you something. How many times have you thrown spare change into a cup holder or into a jar by the door? How many small fortunes have passed through your hands without you even knowing? You might be sitting on one right now. And the fear of missing out on something life-changing should make you look at that spare change with new eyes. Today, I'm going to take you behind the scenes of one of the most sought-after modern coin errors in the United States, the elusive 1986 P. Washington quarter error. And trust me, this story is not just about a coin. It's about opportunity, destiny, and the moment when preparation meets luck. So stay with me to the end, because what you discover today may inspire you to search your coins before someone else finds the treasure you accidentally ignored. And yes, we will talk about exactly what makes this error so valuable, how it escaped the mint, and why collectors today are hunting it like gold. But first, let's reset your attention with a quick question. If you found a $988,000 quarter, whose face would your family make when you told them you got rich from the laundry pile? That's right. Hold that mental picture. Now let's dive in.to understand why this coin is in such high demand. We need to step back to the Philadelphia Mint in 1986, a year when billions of Washington quarters were minted and quality control was tight, or so everyone thought. But as we know, greatness often slips through in unexpected ways. Among all those coins, a small batch left the mint carrying a rare and dramatic error. Not a scratch, not a blur, not a misaligned strike, but something far more unusual, far more spectacular, and almost impossible to replicate. An error so visually striking that professional graders didn't just take notice, they elevated it into legendary status. Now picture this, collectors today aren't just searching for this coin, they're chasing it with obsession. Because scarcity creates desire, and desire creates value. That's why this 1986 P error quarter isn't just worth money, it commands power, authority, and prestige in the high-stakes world of modern coin collecting. The few known examples didn't just sell. They ignited bidding wars. What makes this even more electrifying is the fact that many of these coins were released quietly into daily circulation. Imagine the goosebumps of realizing that a life-altering treasure may be hiding in the most ordinary places, in pockets, purses, old parking meters, or the forgotten coins you tossed in a kitchen bowl years ago. Fear of missing out? Good. That fear pushes you to check your coins before someone else is lucky enough to discover what you overlooked. And you know what's funny? When people hear a quarter sold for close to $1 million, they laugh until they realize someone actually walked away with the money. This isn't a fantasy. This is the market speaking. This is demand roaring. This is the kind of reality that makes people stop laughing and start looking. Here's where everything comes together. The 1986 P Washington quarter error has become one of the most desirable pieces for investors, collectors, and wealth builders who understand one universal truth: rare opportunities don't announce themselves, they wait quietly for the prepared. You are watching this video for a reason. Maybe you've always felt that wealth was something other people found. Maybe you've believed your chances have passed. But sometimes, the most extraordinary opportunities hide in the most ordinary places. A dusty drawer. A coin jar on top of the refrigerator. A collection you inherited and never touched. A coin slipped into your hand has changed 20 years ago without a second thought. Your wealthy lifestyle, the freedom you dream of, the chance to sell old and rare coins for life-changing amounts, these things are not as far away as they seem. Collectors today are hunting this error fiercely because they know how modern numismatics has evolved. They know the market is booming. They know demand is growing. They know $1 million coin is no longer a fantasy but a headline waiting for its next chapter. So what should you do next? Start searching. Start learning. Start acting. Don't wait until someone else posts a picture online holding the quarter that could have been yours. Don't shrug off the possibility. Don't underestimate what you already possess. Wealth sometimes arrives disguised as small change. Before we wrap up, let me leave you with another pattern interrupt. One more attention reset. Imagine sitting across from a buyer who slides a contract toward you and says, "Congratulations. This little quarter is worth $988,000. Would you wink? Would you faint? Or would you pretend to be calm while texting everyone you know?" Keep that moment in mind. Because for someone, somewhere, that moment is coming. And it could be you. This is more than a video. This is a wake-up call. Your coins may be worth far more than you think. The 1986 P. Washington quarter error proves that wealth hides in plain sight. And the people who step into opportunity, who check, who learn, who act, are the ones who rise. So stay curious. Stay inspired. Stay ready. Because the next rare coin story worth nearly $1 million might just be written by you.